Well, hey gang, it's your friendly neighborhood watchman here again, bringing you another video. This time a follow-up to the whole melodrama that transpired at the 2020 Oscars, involving, of course, Will Smith, Chris Rock, and Jada Smith. This picture here in this photo is David Rubin, president of the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences, and Dawn Hudson, CEO of the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences. So folks, I'm sure you've heard the same thing I had heard, that supposedly the Academy had asked Will Smith to leave the premises, which he allegedly refused. But before we get to that, let's go into what the head honcho, what the upper crust at the Academy were talking about after the incident. There was a formal review which was initiated after the officers of the Academy's Board of Governors convened for an emergency call about the King Richard actor, that of course being Will Smith, who walked on stage during the live telecast Sunday and slapped Chris Rock after the comedian made a joke about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. The investigation will explore whether any further action is required. Further action? Well, what action did you take? In accordance with the Academy Standards of Conduct and California law. Tuesday's letter, which was signed by Academy President David Rubin and CEO Dawn Hudson and distributed to the organization's members, indicated that the 94th Oscars was, quote, meant to be a celebration of the many individuals in our community who did incredible work in the past year, unquote. Instead, they continued, those moments were, quote, overshadowed by the unacceptable and harmful behavior on stage by your nominee, unquote. Following the physical confrontation, Smith proceeded to yell at Rock from his seat in the audience, and we all know what he said. Chris Rock appeared visibly shaken, but continued to present the Best Documentary Award as the evening went on. Not long after, Smith won the Best Actor Oscar for his role as Richard Williams, the father of tennis greats Venus and Serena Williams, in King Richard, and apologized to the Academy and fellow nominees in his emotional acceptance speech, though he did not mention Rock. She should have been the main person to which he should have apologized. Rubin and Hudson reiterated that the Academy still condemns Smith's actions as noted in a previous statement. As outlined in our bylaws, the Academy's Board of Governors will now make a determination on appropriate action for Mr. Smith. The letter sent Tuesday reads, as governed by California law regarding members of nonprofit organizations like the Academy and set forth in our standards of conduct, this must follow an official process that will take a few weeks. Former Academy President Sid Ganis is among the members who have weighed in on the controversy, saying that he feels it's not the board's place to sanction Smith. I think those are two men who had a real disagreement, and it's up to them, not to the Academy, not to any of us, he told the Hollywood Reporter's Scott Feinberg. Two men had a real disagreement? What disagreement did they have? Before Chris Rock was slapped, he just said a joke. Whether you think it's funny or not, appropriate or not, is neither here nor there, as there was no justifiable reason for him to have been assaulted. But to continue, Actors Branch member Watanya Alda disagreed, however. Quote, I think security should have escorted him out immediately instead of letting him sit there spewing unacceptable language at Chris Rock, unquote, she asserted. Someone else should have accepted his award. Why did he get a pass? And a lot of people feel like Miss Alda. The full letter from the Academy below, I'll read to you. Dear members, Sunday's telecast of the 94th Oscars was meant to be a celebration of the many individuals in our community who did incredible work this past year. We are upset and outraged that these moments were overshadowed by the unacceptable and harmful behavior on stage by a nominee. To be clear, we condemn Mr. Smith's actions that transpired Sunday night. As outlined in our bylaws, the Academy's Board of Governors will now make a determination on appropriate action for Mr. Smith. As governed by California law regarding members of nonprofit organizations like the Academy. Okay, I read that crap. I read this already, earlier in the video. We will continue to update you on any developments, but we also ask that you respect your board, Academy staff, and the process as this unfolds so it can work in a considered way that it was intended and mandated. Please trust that the Board of Governors will conduct this process in a manner that is both expedient and respectful of all involved while maintaining the standards of the Academy. Thank you. David Rubin, President. Dawn Hudson, CEO. So, a lot of ado about nothing. You could bet your ass that if Will Smith was white, he would have been escorted from the Oscars ceremony by police and probably charged with that. That would depend on the person's slap, if it was Chris Rock or not. So, the story doesn't end there because with a slap seen around Hollywood and then the world, more things come to light. As we have an article here by Eileen Veslin, and reported all over the place now. The Academy lied about asking Will Smith to leave Oscars after slap. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences is not telling the whole truth about its role in the slap heard around the world, according to a new report. Hours after the organization claimed it asked Will Smith to leave the 2022 Oscars, but he refused, TMZ sources claimed Thursday that a consensus was never actually reached because officials were split about how to handle the situation. 3 insiders who were reportedly at Sunday's ceremony and witnessed various conversations told the outlet that some wanted Smith, who's 53, to leave, but others did not. The sources with direct knowledge who were present at the show also alleged to TMZ that show producer Will Packer had told the King Richard star he could stay. The Academy, however, told the Associated Press Wednesday night, quote, things unfolded in a way we could not have anticipated. While we would like to clarify that Mr. Smith was asked to leave the ceremony and refused, we also recognize we could have handled the situation differently, unquote. A rep for the organization did not immediately return. Page 6 is request for comment Thursday on a conflicting report. So, long story short, it was really the producer of the Oscar ceremony, Will Packer. It was his call that kept Will Smith from being escorted off the premises. And today, we find out that the LAPD was prepared to arrest Will Smith for battery. Oscar's producer reveals, which would be the aforementioned Will Packer. Police in Los Angeles were prepared to arrest Will Smith on battery charges moments after he slapped Chris Rock at Sunday's Oscar ceremony. The award show's producer revealed in a new interview. Producer Will Packer shared the stunning behind-the-scenes details in an interview with ABC that's set to air in full Friday on Good Morning America. Packer said Rock was in his office shortly after the primetime SmackDown. Hey, that's what I used on my thumbnail. Anyway, this isn't about you, okay? The Oscars. It's about what went on in Oscars. So to repeat, Packer said Rock was in his office shortly after the primetime SmackDown when the LAPD officers showed up and offered to take action against Smith. They were saying this is battery, was the word they used in that moment, Packer said. According to a clip of the interview that aired Thursday in ABC's World News Tonight, the officers said, we will go get him. We are prepared to get him right now. He recalled, referring to Smith. You can press charges and we can arrest him, the cops added. But Packer said Rock was dismissive of the options and refused to press charges. The revelation came after the Film Academy said it had asked Smith to leave the ceremony after his meltdown, but the organization's claim was called into doubt on Thursday. Sources told the Post that Rock was never consulted about whether to bounce the King Richard star after the onstage SmackDown. No one ever asked Chris if Will should leave. They never consulted him. It was the Oscars producer, Will Packer, who made the final decision to let Will stay, said one insider. TMZ reported Thursday that Packer was the one who told Smith could stay, despite producers and Academy officials being split on the matter. Packer walked up to Will and said, we do not want you to leave, the outlet reported. He should have said, I do not want you to leave, which would be much closer to the truth. That contradicts the Academy's claim in a letter to members on Wednesday, which we just went over, that the actor had refused to leave the ceremony and instead stayed in Adobe Theater to pick up his Best Actor prize prize for King Richard to a standing ovation. Should surprise no one, by Hollywood idiots and hypocrites, Hollywood Philistines. Meanwhile, Whoopi Goldberg, who serves on Academy's Board of Governors, yeah, that's all you need to know, defended the decision to let Smith choose whether to stay or go on Hollywood's biggest night. Yeah, of course she would. Chris Rock broke his silence for the first time since the slap on Wednesday night while on tour in Boston, saying he was still, quote, processing, unquote, the attack. Well, reason LAPD didn't arrest and escort Will Smith out was because, in part, to producer Will Packer, but more importantly, Chris Rock. He declined pressing charges. If he had, then that would have been that. We have comedians rally around Chris Rock, express concerns about violence towards comics. Now we all have to worry, unquote. So you have, of course, Sandler, Adam Sandler's friends, and Jim Carrey. I'm sure if you're interested in this story, you would have seen Jim Carrey's brief interview. And I don't agree with that TDS nut job, but he did make comments that I agree with concerning Will Smith. The Jim Carrey interview on CBS Mornings, Carrey had said, if you want to yell from the audience and show disapproval or say something on Twitter, that's okay. You do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words. I have a bunch of comments from comedians. Rob Schneider, another frequent co-star of Rock's, wrote, there's never an excuse for violence. Ever, 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 ever. Kathy Griffin, another nut job, had a moment of lucidity when she tweeted, let me tell you something. It's very bad practice to walk up on stage and physically assault a comedian. Assault anyone, for that matter. Now we all have to worry about who wants to be the next Will Smith in comedy clubs and theaters, which I would begrudgingly have to agree with. Begrudgingly, because it's Kathy Griffin. There's Rosie, and goes on and on. Obviously, you could just log on to here and read every comment.
Nope.
Go right ahead. Knock yourself out. Well, hopefully this is the last of the videos on this.
Nope.
Unless something really newsworthy comes out. I don't think for a second they'll take the award from Will Smith. So, how will he be punished? I have no clue. Your guess will be as good as mine. I do agree that it was outrageous that Will Smith got a standing ovation when he received the Oscar, being that it was Chris Rock that was assaulted. But I digress. Enough of this crap. So folks, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And as always, my friends, stay safe. And until next time, I bid you peace.